Hey everybody, Movie Fan Z here. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. It's time for another review. So last night I went and saw Aquaman. Now, based on the trailers and all that I had heard, I had medium to high expectations, and I was nervous but also really wanted it to be good. And I will have to say, I really enjoyed this movie. Now, a quick plot outline. So, Arthur Curry is born of both a light lighthouse keeper and a queen of Atlantis. So, he's what's known as the movie as a half breed. And this movie is basically his journey to gain the throne of Atlantis as its king. And that's all I'm going to say. Now, there are a lot of things that I did really like about this movie, and some negatives, but mostly the positives way outweigh the negatives. So, let's start with the positives. First positive, Jason Momoa. In this movie, it's like he is the best character in this movie. He is such a badass, and it's just like there is no reason not to root for him. I liked also in terms of villains, I thought the Black Manta character was kind of cool and was really good with the action. One thing that I did really like about this movie is, at least in the near the beginning, I liked how they gave you like the backstory of his parents and this like how they met and how they raised him. I also like the backstory of Black Manta and like how he came to be the Black Manta and his encounter with Aquaman. I thought that was a really good story to tell. I really did like the action in this movie. I thought it was very fast paced and using a lot of different fighting techniques. Along with that, though, some of the camera shots for for the action, I thought was really cool. Especially, there's an action scene with Nicole Kidman's character that I thought had the best camera angles and was my favorite action scene. My favorite shot, though, is different. It involves diving, but I just thought it looked really cool when it was shown. Now, they bring up the. Now, Aquaman is known for one thing, and it's a joke more or less about his costume. They bring up the costume in a way, but I liked how they brought it up. It's the same thing. No, another thing that I liked is this is definitely a standalone movie. There was a mention of a past event in the DC movie universe, but that it is only mentioned for a brief second. I There was no other characters or any cameos really shown, and I thought that was really cool. I will have to say, and people could take this as a positive or a negative, this movie is very corny, but I thought it worked out in that sort of way. It's a very comic booky, corny kind of movie. And last thing I'm going to say, well, I did really like the story. I liked all the different journey aspects that it took, and I really liked the visuals. The visuals were definitely a good thing. But my last positive, which is also will lead into my negatives, is about the music. The positive side of it is when they brought in like score music, like instrumental music, I thought it really worked for the action scenes and every scene that it was in. Negative wise, when they brought in like pop songs, it definitely did not fit. Another negative is you could definitely tell there is CGI in here, and to me, whenever you see hair underwater, it definitely does not look good. And my final negative of this movie is Mira. Of the main cast, I felt like Amber Heard as Mira was the weakest part. I don't know if it was her because of her acting or it was just the character in general, but it just like I just didn't really follow that character. I didn't that character just didn't really do it for me as much as the others. So overall, I'm going to give this a 4 to 5. This is a movie I will definitely check out again. Well, that is my review for Aquaman. This is Movie Fan Z signing off. Have a good Sunday.